TuneCore has once again proven themselves to be the absolute worst music distributor on the planet. And oddly enough, their logo has a planet on it. I never thought I'd say this, but they're somehow making DistroKid look good. TuneCore is a music distributor. You can pay them as low as $19.99 a year to have an unlimited amount of your music posted to a bunch of platforms, such as Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Beatport, and many more. And you get paid for the streams on your music. Now this would be great if they actually let you upload your music. While some people upload their music and everything goes fine, other people will upload their music and it gets rejected with no specific reason.
Is TuneCore just a scam?
TuneCore does nothing.
Content removed.
Now this wouldn't be an issue if they gave you a specific reason and you were able to fix it and just upload it. But it's led to quite a few videos online calling them a scam for years before this video. Hey you, are you an aspiring SoundCloud rapper? But you've realized SoundCloud is pretty dead these days, and you need to put your music in other places as well. Well, my friend, that is what a music distributor is for. You may be asking yourself, why do I need a music distributor? Well, they make it easier to upload your music to a large amount of platforms. In fact, platforms such as Spotify and Apple Music don't even let you upload your music directly. You have to use a distributor, so they're a sort of gatekeeper to get your music into these places, which makes what we're going to talk about today even more troubling. Something interesting has come to light from a music attorney with a YouTube channel named Top Music Attorney. Really on the nose with that name. She posted a video named Dear TuneCore a few days ago, which illuminated a bunch of red flags that I don't think anyone really knew about. The biggest one being, if you break the rules on their platform, they keep your money. It's worse than that though. If they even think you're breaking the rules on their platform, they keep your money. And I'm not talking about the money you paid to get on there, I'm talking about the royalties they owe you. Now what rules am I talking about? Well, I'm sure they have quite a few other rules, but in this case, it is about streaming fraud. Being accused of streaming fraud is like being accused of murder on these platforms. Oddly enough, if you're convicted of actual murder, your music will stay up. But if you pay for a promo campaign that turns out to be sketchy, you're going to jail. What are you in for? So I released a song, right? Wait, hold on. Let me start from the top. Have you ever heard of TuneCore? Lately, music distributors have gone rabid in response to streaming fraud. You might even want to say streaming fraud, because quite often it's not even streaming fraud. Streaming fraud is essentially buying plays on your music or running some sort of bot farm operation in order to run the numbers up on your music. DistroKid will remove your song if they catch you doing this. TuneCore will do the same. The troubling thing about this is they never provide any information or proof of the fraud. If they think you have more than 90% artificial streams on a song, they penalize you for it and remove the song. Since they don't provide any information, you don't even know if it's legitimate. To make it worse, any random person who hates you can buy plays on your music and get it taken down. Quite a few people have had songs removed this year that they swear up and down they have not botted or even paid for any promotion on. This seems to be in response to Spotify making several changes on their platform, one of which is in regard to streaming fraud. They say that they will charge a music distributor $10 if fake plays are detected on their song. Now, they claim that they did this to fight streaming fraud and make distributors more selective about what they allow to be posted on Spotify, which I said earlier doesn't really make a lot of sense because anyone could bot someone else's song and get them thrown in music jail. One thing I found to be extremely weird was TuneCore's response to these changes. They for some reason welcomed them. High volume, low cost distribution services have the most to lose from these changes. When your customers can upload an unlimited amount of songs, and have the potential of costing you $10 per song if somebody happened to bot them, that should be concerning. You should be very concerned. That seems like the kind of change that could actually ruin your business. Now that leads us to some information that had come out recently via the Top Music Attorney's video. It discusses a client who had allegedly been ripped off by TuneCore, and it seems like TuneCore may have even broken the law. The attorney's client has chosen to remain anonymous. He decided to hire her after they kicked him off their platform and removed all of his music. On top of that, they kept tens of thousands of dollars in royalties.
So in this scenario, our client, who gave me authority to talk about this generally, hired us because his music got yanked from music platforms. TuneCore locked him out of his account. And in this case, there were tens of thousands of dollars of royalties here.
And did not show any proof of the streaming fraud. He tried to get it back for several years before deciding to hire her. Notice how I said several years ago, meaning this was before these new Spotify changes had taken place. She makes a really good point that while the terms do say they can take your money, New York state law says you cannot penalize someone for something in a contract that doesn't equal the damage that was done. This means TuneCore is not following New York contract law, which is where they are located, by the way. And it seems from what we are presented, Spotify did not charge TuneCore for these streams, and this was before the recent change where they would charge distributors. So it sounds like they just decided to keep this guy's money for some reason. There was also a phone call where they called her client a
scumbag
and not a real artist. Maybe that's why they weren't releasing all those songs that people were uploading. It's all coming together now. I should probably clarify that's a joke. The reason they didn't upload those songs is because they have a terrible system and absolutely awful customer service. I kind of feel like TuneCore is the world's most expensive psyop being funded and operated by DistroKid in order to convince people to go to DistroKid instead. The more I hear about this case, the more I really want to know who this person is and why TuneCore thinks he is such a scumbag. It seems like a very strong response to someone being accused of botting streams. Now, if we are taking what this attorney and her client are saying at face value, TuneCore has shown no evidence of the streaming fraud. It has me wondering if it's about something more. During the phone call, they were still not willing to give up the money, but they said they were willing to give it to a charity. Bizarrely, the terms of service that were read in this video state that they can do that as well. They can give it to a third party. So literally whoever. Now the terms of service she reads are from December 2023, but it happened back in 2020, meaning that those are the terms that they should have acted on. I actually used the Wayback Machine to access the terms in June of 2020, and they were quite a bit different, but it still stated that they could keep someone's money in case of improper conduct. One change I did notice is back then they did not give themselves the ability to give the money to a third party. They have a history of providing terrible service and even taking down other people's music even more recently without a good reason. And would you believe, once again, they provided zero proof. Yeah, it's kind of weird how many people are having the same experience. For those of you who are already tapped in on this channel, you already know what I'm going to say next. Several weeks ago, TuneCore had actually taken down a fellow music production YouTuber's music, with virtually no reasoning. They took down 23 albums of Ben Jordan's for the same reason. He also releases music under the moniker The Flashbulb. They said he committed streaming fraud, yet they provided no evidence, and in fact when you look at his analytics, it looks fairly normal. Weirdly, they didn't keep his money or take down all his music, just almost all of it, so it seems like the consequences are completely arbitrary. They claim Spotify detected streaming fraud on his music, but did not show any evidence, once again. And then TuneCore conducted their own internal investigation to confirm it, which they claim they confirmed it. No evidence though. Wow. There are some conspiracy theories that this happened because he made videos criticizing Spotify and numerous other petty reasons. This ended up getting solved, but only after there was a bunch of backlash. It's really weird how there was no evidence presented, and they only reversed their decision after thousands of people pushed back on it. It's almost as if it wasn't really about streaming fraud. Now, the next person to get screwed by TuneCore I absolutely dislike. I dislike his politics, and I even dislike his music. It is Tom McDonald. He recently released a song with Ben Shapiro. I know, what the f. Anyways, TuneCore refused to release this song because of its lyrical content. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with the lyrics in this song, and all of our lives would probably be better if Tom McDonald didn't release music. But should a music distributor be arbitrarily picking and choosing what songs are allowed to go up? Sure, they have the right to refuse business, but when it is seemingly arbitrary, who's to say they won't shift the goalpost whenever they feel like it? I didn't know that when you sign up to TuneCore, you have to align with their views. It's kind of weird how they don't tell you that when you sign up and hand them the money. Now, if we keep this in mind and look back at the other cases I discussed in this video, it makes me wonder if this is all about censorship, or not liking them because of their past views and actions. The recent changes on Spotify about fraudulent streams seem to give TuneCore a cover for whatever they want to do. I hate to say it, but I think Curtis King was right. We all just gotta go direct to consumer. Not only is streaming paying absolutely nothing, the major record labels and Spotify and the distributors seem to be in cahoots. They're pretending like there's not bad actors there, and there clearly are. They reserve the right to kick you off the platform at any time for any reason. They could just make up a reason if they want to. And worst of all, they can keep your money after, the small amount of money that you earn through streaming. TuneCore may objectively be the worst music distribution service. To me, they appear to be politically charged, willing to censor people, willing to say you have fake plays, and then present zero evidence. There are many other choices for your music. I recommend you go somewhere else, but probably not DistroKid. In the video linked at the end here, I will tell you about the dangers of DistroKid. I'll see you guys next time. If you want to support the channel, consider joining my Patreon or becoming a channel member.
The Bang Incorporated.